last time we reviewed how to solve for square roots. Now this time, all right, what we're going to do is we're going to actually do vertex form. And it's going to be a lot easier because of what we did last time. Can anyone raise their hand and remind me from last class what the fundamental theorem of algebra is? Anybody remember? What's the fundamental? Hudson.
The exponent means how many answers.
You got it. Perfect. The exponent means how many answers there's going to be. Okay? So the exponent, highest exponent, right? Highest exponent is how many, holy cow. Listen to my words, not my writing apparently. How many answers? Okay, so this unit is all about solving quadratics, which is the squared equations. So how many solutions will all of your equations have? Oh, almost like I'm trying to drill that into your brain. Okay, important reminder. To get rid of everything you can before the squared first. Remember last time we talked about how, excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. Okay, remember last time we talked about how when you're solving equations, you do opposite of PEMDAS, right? So PEMDAS, that's how we, like when we're combining things, we do parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, subtraction, right? So we're going to do the opposite of that when we're undoing things, okay? Now, on this one, this is a little different. Last time, all we did was ones that just had an x squared, right? You guys remember that? All we did are ones with an x squared. Now, this time, we're actually going to do ones like our vertex form, okay? Now, this x minus 2, that's in the parentheses, okay? So that counts as the squared here. So if I'm doing my important reminder, get rid of everything you can before the squared, I've already done that in this one. So I'm ready to square root right now, okay? Everybody good? Okay? Yeah? All right. So then we're going to square root both sides to get rid of the squared. Now the x minus 2 is left alone completely because it canceled with the squared here, right? What's the square root of 49? 7? Only 7? 7 and negative 7. So that means to get our two answers, we have two equations to solve. The plus or minus doesn't happen at the end, right? It's there because of the square root. So I have two equations I have to solve. What's the next step on both of my equations? Add 2. Yeah, good. So x equals 9 and negative 5. Who just walked in? Trista? Okay. Okay, let's try another one. The squared is all by itself, so I'm ready to square root. So x plus 1 equals? Good. So Gavin remembered that if there's a negative in my square root, it has an imaginary number there. And again, remember this plus or minus is happening because of the square root. So now I have my two equations to solve. Okay? What's the next step on solving both of these equations? -1. Good. Now, on the last one, I could actually combine these numbers because they were the same. But in this one, they're not. One's real and one's imaginary, right? So that's as simplified as I get. I can't combine things that aren't like terms. Okay. How we doing, okay? Any questions?
So,
Yeah, Gavin?
so if it's an I, you have to get rid of the one next to X. You just can't put them together. So you have to do the measure.
Yeah. Yeah, and in back in Unit 2, we used to see numbers like this, and remember I'd have you like circle the real part and square the imaginary part. If they're not like terms, I can't combine them. And real and imaginary numbers aren't like terms, so. Good. Okay. Now, let's look at 2A. What should I do first? Am I ready to square root right now? Right? Remember our important reminder? Right? I have to get rid of everything by the squared before I do anything else. So good, I got to get rid of that 5. Okay? So Mandy, what's -1 plus 5? 4. Good. Okay? All right, now what do I do, Peyton? You got it. Yep. So then x minus 8 equals 2 and -2. There we go. Okay. What's next, Michaela? Plus 8. Good. X equals 10. And 6, good. How did I know I was able to combine those ones this time? How come I could actually add those ones together, but I couldn't add our last ones together? Because of that I was in the other ones. These ones, they're both real numbers, they're like terms, right? Okay? All right, let's do one more together, and then I'm going to have you guys try some. What do I do first? Remember, we're doing opposite of PEMDAS. So what do I do first if I'm trying to get rid of the x? So PEMDAS is our order of operations, right? So when I'm undoing stuff, I go backwards. So I should get rid of the subtraction first. So how do I get rid of that minus 10? There we go, add 10. Then what? No, not ready. Yeah, I gotta get rid of the 3. What is it? 54, good. Now what? Square root. So x equals the square root of 54 and the negative square root of 54. Am I done? Am I done? No, yeah, never, right? What do I gotta do? I gotta simplify that. Now, first I would maybe check if it's a perfect square, is it? It's not, but that doesn't mean we don't know how to simplify it, right? We spent a whole unit learning how to simplify those with our factor trees. So give me 2 numbers that go into 54. $27 and 2, I'm hearing. Oh. Done? 9 and what? Okay. And 3 and 3. Pairs or triples? What am I looking for? Pairs. I have one, right? And I have 2 leftovers. What do I do with the 2 leftovers again? Multiply them. So my answers are 3 square root 6 and negative 3 square root 6. Okay, let me ask you a question. How come on that one I was allowed to just wait till the end and do my plus or minus, and on the others it wasn't at the end? What's the difference between ones like A and ones like B? What's the difference? How did I know I could just plus or minus at the end? What's the difference?
The X was already by itself.
Yeah, Gavin, good. The X was already by itself. Do you notice there was no parentheses being squared with nothing inside it, like on this one? Does that make sense, you guys? Do you see it? Yeah? So when the X is by itself, then I can just plus or minus at the end. But when the X isn't alone, when it's being squared, I have one more step, okay? Give me thumbs up or thumbs down if you're ready to try some with your neighbors, and I'll walk around. Thumbs up. Okay. All but like 2 are thumbs up, so I'll walk around. Okay. All right, I want you guys to try. Let's just start with 1 and 2 and see. A, B, and C. Try A, B, and C, and we'll start from there. Okay, try